In this video, let's take a look at how we can create templates and attach them to the devices. Templates are really helpful when you have large number of devices, and the big benefit of templates is you get standardized config on all the devices. So you create a template and then you just provide device variables in that template to generate the config. So we have our lab in EVE-NG, and we have 3 sites, 300, 400, and 500. I'm going to use VPN 1 as Service VPN, and the subnets will be 3.0 for 300, 4.0 for 400, and 5.0 for 500. And Service VPN will be the VLANs which you want to encrypt and send traffic over the SD-WAN transport. So it will be something like VLAN 10, 20, 30. So for simplicity, I'm just using one VPN named VPN 1, and these will be the subnets which will be sent or will be able to talk over the SD-WAN transport. So let's go to our vManage, and if I go to templates and feature template, so we can see here that there are some factory default templates, and if I click to default, non-default, we don't have any non-default or custom templates. So we could use default template. With the default template, what you have to do is you have to copy the template, rename it, and then edit it. So you cannot edit the factory default template. So if you copy, you just rename the template, and once you've recreated it, so for example, let's say if I just remove default from there, and then copy, non-default, so we can see we have a non-default template, and then you can add it or change the device models. So when you create the templates, it asks you which device models you want this template for. So for example, this template is for CSR 1000V, ISR 4331, and 4351. And then in the template, you can provide the variables which you want to use. So I'm going to cancel this out and delete this template for now. So what I'm going to do is I have some templates already created, and I will share the link in the description. They are in the SD-WAN folder, and 1922 and SD-WAN templates. So I have some custom feature templates, and then there are some generic templates and device templates. So in the custom templates, we have C-Edge, V-Edge, and vSmart. So the C-Edge and V-Edge devices, the templates are different. In the generic templates, we just have the generic template. And then with device templates, it will show you, so I took a backup of the config from vManage, and it just gave me which templates are attached and the values and the template. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these templates using a Python script, which is already in the scripts folder here. Excuse me, should be here, scripts. So I'm going to use create feature template script to create the templates, and I also have a script to delete the templates. And if I go to our Linux box where I will be using, so if you just download the repository from GitHub, so going again to the repository, if you go to public repo and then download the code, so download it as a zip file, and that will download a zip file and then extract it. Once you've extracted it, all you need to do is, so you can ignore these folders, so I can probably delete them, or so SD-WAN and version 19. So you can see we've got all the files in there. You could ignore them or delete the files you don't need. Right, and then from the scripts folder, we just copy these to the templates. Okay, so you could change, so if I just open the script, so the way I wrote the script, it's not very clean and elegant. So I've just used the folders where the script is. You could change the path in here, or you could modify the script, but to make it easy, you just have the script in the same folder where you have the templates folders. And then go to the shell, and if I go to downloads, public repo, SD-WAN, and then I go to 1922 and SD-WAN templates. So here we have our files. If you do Python 3 and then just give it the file name create feature template. So what this script will do is it will create all the templates which are in the custom feature template vEdge. So if you wanted to change, you can change the folder, or if you wanted to create the generic vEdge templates, you just have to change the path in the script. So I'll show you again. So these are the path. This is the path where, this. So you just need to change the path here, and this is the example for generic. So you could comment this line and uncomment the bottom one, and it will use that folder. So it's a couple of places. So there's one here and then here. So you just need to change the folder name and the path if you wanted to create other templates. So for this, we'll just use the custom feature templates. As we can see on our vManage, that we don't have any non-default templates. And if I run this script, so we can see our templates on the CLI, it says successfully loaded. If I refresh this page, we can see we have our non-default custom templates which are created out of this folder. Okay. So you could create a template from scratch. So all you have to do is add a template, and then you have to select the device model you want the template for. So in our example, let's say I wanted it for VH Cloud. And then what sort of template you want, AAA, BFD, NTP. So just to show you an example, if I selected AAA, then it asks you to provide the variables you want to use in that template. So it will be like your local user account, timeout for radius, TACAX servers, and authentication fallback. So I'm going to cancel that. And so we can see these are the templates we have. And if I go to the template which we have for AAA, click on the three dots and edit. Okay, so we have the device type, which will be used to apply the template name, template description, and in the authentication, we have the authentication order. So this icon here, it means global. So if you click on that, it says global settings. So this will be applied to all the devices. Or if you want to change it to a device specific, so let's say one device or a couple of devices have specific requirements, you could give it a device specific, and then it will ask you to provide this information when you are populating the template with variables. So we're going to leave it as global, so it will be the same config applied to all the devices which get attached to the template. Okay, and we have our local user admin, password is admin. So if you wanted to add a new user, we can add a new user. So let's say call it test1, give it a password. If you want to give it a description, so if you wanted to apply default, it will pick up the default description from the default template. So I'll leave. Or if you wanted to give it a global, we can give it a name saying test user, and then add. Okay, and update the template. It's going to be netadmin. Save, update. So now we have our AAA template updated. So once you have the feature templates created, you need to attach them to a device. And before we attach to the device, we need to create a device template. So from here, we'll go to create a device template from feature template. And let's say we're going to call it we're going to use it for VH Cloud. The template name is going to be VH template. And then we need to provide some basic information. So you can look at this information in the repo as well. So if you go to SDWAN 1922, so I have this PDF here for create device template. If I open this, so I'm going to use this information here for VH. So we've given it the template name and description and the basic information. I'm going to populate that. So for logging, we'll leave it for system. Need to give it here. So we'll give it VH system template. Logging, we'll leave it to factory default, BFD factory default for AAA. We'll select our AAA template and then scroll down to transport VPN. So VPN 0, we have a template for VPN 0, and we will use MPLS, then add another VPN interface, and this will be our VPN 0 public internet. Okay, and VPN 512, we have a template for VPN 512, and then we need to add an interface, and this will be VPN 512 interface template. I'm not going to configure any additional templates. We need to configure Service VPN. So Service VPN, we'll add site vEdge VPN 1 template, and then we'll add the VPN interface, and this will be site vEdge VPN 1 interface template. So all these templates which we are seeing here, they are all coming from the feature templates which we created using our script. Okay, I think that's all we need to give, and then create. Right, so our device template is created, and next we need to attach this to a device. So we can see here that we have used 13 feature templates in this device template. It's not attached to any device at the moment. It's zero devices. And before I attach, if I just go to feature template, so you could look at all these individual templates. So for example, if I just click on one for VPN 0 and edit it, right, so in this template, I have configured some basic information. So by default, shutdown, no. And then I have already given it the interface name. So I've given it gig01. In my topology, all the gig01 connects to MPLS. So you can see all the gig01 connect to MPLS, and all the 00 connect to internet. So for my MPLS template, I have hard-coded gig01, and I've given it a description connected to MPLS. Let's say one of the devices, so for example, let's say this guy was using a, then I cannot use the interface name in the template. So what I will have to do is I'll have to say device specific and then give the interface name when I'm populating the template with the variables. So any information which is given already in your template, you don't need to give the variables for that. Okay, so you can look at the template and see what is configured. Instead of me going over all the different features, you can have a look. So I'll cancel this out. You can also have a look at the templates in a text editor. So all these templates are just JSON files. So as an example, if I open this MPLS template, right, so you can see that I have given it the gig01, and then I have given it the description. You could look at all the full template, what variables are configured and what we need to populate. Okay, so let's attach our template to a device. So once you have the template, then we go to attach devices. I'll select 300 So this is our site 300 VH1 and attach. So now it will ask us to provide the, we can edit the device template. So I think because I initially created these templates, it's already populated that information. But let's say if you didn't have previously configured, all these fields will come up empty. And we need to populate all these fields with the correct information. So this is our VPN1 IP address. So VPN1 gateway. So what, again, looking at our topology, it's this interface here. So it's not asking us the interface name because we already hard-coded it in the template. And then VPN 512. So next hop IP address, so gateway for VPN 512, which is the out-of-band management VPN, and it's asking for an IP address. Then MPLS next hop, internet next hop, and then the IP addresses for the MPLS and internet interfaces. Host name, you have to provide latitude and longitude. If you don't, these fields cannot be left empty. You could hard code them in the template, in the system template, and that will configure longitude and latitude for the same information for all the devices. But if you wanted to provide, if you have different locations and you wanted to populate it with correct longitude and latitude information, then you just populate the information here. Give it a system IP and site address, site ID. If I update, click on next. So now it's saying configure action will it be applied to one devices and it will be attached to one device templates. So if we click on our device here and config preview, and then let's go to config diff. Right, so here we can see that which information will be added. Right, so we can see the diff, once it's created. Right, so it will create the user test one. Right, so some of the information which was previously configured while I was playing around. And it will add VPN1, and then we can see that it will add the name for management VPN and an interface description, which is coming from the template. So again, if I show you the template, so this should be VPN 512 interface template. Okay, so we can see I have given it Ethernet 0 and I have given it the name of management VPN, the interface description, sorry. So Ethernet 0 and the description will be management VPN. If I go to this one, so here we can see again the management VPN, which I've hard-coded in the template. And you can modify these templates again, like I showed earlier, from the templates page. You click on the three dots and edit. Right, so let's say we configure devices. So now it's going out and pushing the config to the site 300 VH. So if I go to let's see if this guy can ping its gateway. Okay, so it looks like that's configured. If I go to admin, and then do show run VPN1. Okay, so that's pretty quick. We can see that all this information is configured by vmanage. Okay, we can look at the message and we can see that it's generated the config from the template, and then it's pushed the configuration to the device, and we can see that it's configured this device. If I go back to our templates, we can see that we have one device attached. We can attach another device. So if we say attach devices, and this time let's say I want to attach 400. Attach. And now it's not picked up the variables because I only had site 300 previously attached. So let's configure this. So this will be VPN1. So it will be 4.254. VPN 512. Next hop will be the same. And for this, we will give it 104. MPLS next hop will be site 400, and MPLS next hop will be 13. So the lower number is on the service provider side, and the higher number is on the site. So for subnet 12, 13, and then 14 will be configured on here. B13. For internet, we have the same 13. IP address will be 14. Okay, just to be clear again, so people don't get confused. So these are the subnets, right? So at the moment, I'm configuring site 400, MPLS, and internet. And if I go to site 400, and do show interface VPN 0. Okay, so our internet address, and then this is our MPLS address. So I'm just putting the same information in the template, and when the template will configure, this configuration will be applied from the template. Okay, and our host name will be site 400. System IP will be 4111, and site ID will be 400. Update. Again, we can click on the device, config preview. So this will show us all the config which it's going to configure on the device. And then if I click on config diff, we can see this is the diff. So this is all the information which it will add. Okay, host name was site 400, and in the template we have put site 400 without the hyphen. So let's look at the rest of the config. So Okay, so let's go back. And then if we go to, again, edit device template, put the hyphen there, update, next. Okay, so now we can see our device name is correct and it's not going to change. So the diff is not showing anymore. So let's configure the device. Okay, so that's done pretty quick. I just wanted to catch it where it's not. Right, so on site 500 we can see that it's not pinging because the VH is not configured and we have not applied the template. Right, so we don't have any Service VPN configured. And if we attach again, go to templates. Now we have two devices attached. You could detach the devices as well. So if you just select the device and move it to the right side and click on detach, it will detach the template from the device. But I want to attach site 500. So attach and then 500. Again, quickly give it the variables it needs. So this will be 500 to 5. This will stay the same. Change this to 5. And this is on 4, so these are 5s. This will be 6. Right, so once we have given all the variables, update, next, configure. Now configuration is in process. If I go back to so we can see in the background it's in progress. Once it's done, I should be able to ping. So this is the site host, which is trying to ping the gateway. I think might have made a mistake. Oh, the interface might be down. Okay. Right, so we can ping our gateway. And let's have a quick look. And if we did show run again, so we can see we have the two uplinks configured in VPN 0, so connected to the public internet, and then we have the connected to MPLS. And we can see the interface names and descriptions are populated. Okay, and if we go to our templates again, so we can see we have 3 devices attached, and the feature templates where the devices are attached and how many device templates are using. Now, if we wanted to delete, so what I'll do is, let's say detach, and I'm going to scroll all these devices, and I'm going to say detach. So I just want to show, one last thing I want to show is how we can delete the templates and then create them again. So if you end up making a mistake, or if you end up messing up with the templates, you don't have to worry about it. You can just delete them and then recreate them. So let's see. Right, so we can see that even though we detach the templates, the config still stays on the box. So when you detach the template, it doesn't mean that it will remove the config from the box as well. Right, so I have detached the templates from all the sites, but we can see that the config is still present. So this is site 400, and if I do show run VPN 1, right, so we can see that the service VPN config is still present even after detaching the template. Okay, so once you have your templates detached, we can go back to the template, and so we can see there is no devices attached to this template, and these are the features which are being used in the device template. We cannot delete the feature templates if they are being used. If I go to my script, in the same folder, I have this Python 3 delete feature templates. I'll just make it a little bigger. Right, so if I run this script and then say yes, and then yes again, so we get 400 because it cannot delete these templates because they are attached to the device template. There are a couple of ways. You can either delete the device template altogether, or we could edit it and then remove the references of all the feature templates which we are using. So we could just go to factory default for everything. So let's say if I move everything to factory default, this interface, Okay, Service VPN, and I can update this. So let's see if everything is still using 10 feature templates. So I'm just going to delete it, and we can recreate the device template if you need to create the information like I showed you already. It's in that PDF file here. You just need to use this information for vEdge. If you were using CSR, then you will use the CSR information here. And this is for vSmart when we do a VPN mesh and hub and spoke topology. So we need to have a vSmart template. You can ignore that for now, but just use this vEdge, what I'm using here. So I have deleted the device template. And if I go back to my script and run it again, so it's asking me, it will delete all these templates. Say yes. Right, so now we get 200, which is okay for HTTP. And feature templates, if I go to non-default, right, so we can see all the templates are gone. And if we go to our devices, right, so we can see the config is still present on the devices. To recreate the templates, again, it's pretty simple. If you just use this script, right, so it will create all the templates, and then you can use these templates. Let's refresh it, right, and then you can use these templates. If you are using CSR, just change the folder name in the script and create the template for CSR. So once our devices are configured with Service VPN, we should be able to ping from the site host to another site host. So if I open 300, let's open 400. So I should be able to ping 192.168.4.254. Okay, it doesn't have a default route, so let's do okay, so we can ping 254, and then I think we need to configure a default route on. Okay, so 4, I have already configured. Yeah, so I have a static configured on 4 already. And if we ping in the other direction, 3.1, so this is the host inside 300. And if we do a trace, we can see that it's going over a tunnel. Okay, so we can see that the traffic is going over a tunnel. It's not showing the hops, so it's not showing the interface IPs of internet or MPLS. So from site 400, it's built a tunnel using MPLS and internet, and it's going over the tunnel. And if we just open internet or MPLS, we can see that they have no idea about 192 address. Okay, so we can see on internet and MPLS, They don't know anything about 192 addresses, but from site 300, we can ping site 400 over the SD-WAN tunnels. Okay, I think that's all I have for this video. I hope it's been helpful. Cheers, thanks.